Hey guys, what's happening? Thanks for tuning in and coming back. I appreciate it. I hope you're having an awesome day. And in today's video, I'm talking about the new Luminar Flex. It's the new plugin workflow designed version of Luminar 3. So essentially, they've taken Luminar 3 and carved out the library, and you're left with the core editing workflow and a filter and tool capability that's built into Luminar in Luminar Flex. So this is for people who have historically used Photoshop or Lightroom or whatever else to sort of manage their library and use as their main editor, and they want to have Luminar as a plugin. Luminar 3 came along and included the library module, and that was sort of redundant for those people. And so this version, called Luminar Flex, which is announcing today or releasing today, removes the library component of Luminar 3, and it's now designed primarily for plugin workflows coming from a different host application. So it works with Lightroom, it works with Photoshop, it works with Apple Aperture. It now supports Photoshop Elements for Mac and Windows, and it also supports Photos as a Mac OS extension. So you've got the ability to run Luminar Flex as a plugin from any of those host applications. It also now supports Photoshop Smart Objects, and while I'm not a Photoshop person, a lot of people are, so you have the ability to use that as well, which I think is a great feature for those of you that require that. And they're also including some new workspaces and new looks, which historically were called presets, in Luminar Flex to give you that customization ability and allow you to really take advantage of all the tools and the power that's available in Luminar. So if you're a current owner or user of Luminar 2018 or Luminar 3, you get Luminar Flex for free. I've got it, it's great, I've been using it and playing with it, and it's kind of like using Luminar 2018 again, just under a different name, and I think that over time, the roadmap for Luminar 3 and Luminar Flex are probably gonna diverge a little bit. I don't know for sure, that's a suspicion, but let me jump in and show you what it's all about. But the first thing I want to tell you is that it's on sale now for $59. You can get it at the link below. And if you use coupon code GYMNIX, you can save $10 getting it for $49. Again, it is free if you're a current user and owner of Luminar 2018 or Luminar 3. And I recommend getting it. It's awesome. So let me hop into Lightroom. Boom, here's Lightroom. So I'm sitting in my Lightroom library, which I still maintain. I've got 240,000 photos here in Lightroom. It's been my primary library for a number of years. When Luminar 3 with libraries came out, I've done quite a few videos with it and will continue to do so. And I also have a lot of photos, 130-something thousand now in my Luminar 3 library. So I'm kind of a man, between countries, for lack of a better word. I've got a foot in both. I haven't put everything in Luminar 3 yet, but that's okay. I'm building that up over time, and it's working really well for me. If you want to see my video about how I put 130,000 photos in it, there it is. But today I'm talking about Lightroom and the plugin workflow with Luminar Flex. So there's two different ways to get over to Luminar Flex. Well, there's probably more than two. There's two primary ways. You can take a photo and you can say Edit In, and you come down here and Luminar Flex shows up. And the way I have Lightroom set up, that's going to take a 16-bit TIFF over to Luminar Flex. You can also say File, Export with Preset, and then you can come over here and you can say Edit a Copy with Lightroom Adjustments or Open Source Files in Luminar Flex. And you can also go to Plugin Extras and you can say Transfer to Luminar Flex. That will actually take the raw file over. Okay, so now I'm going to move a photo over to Luminar Flex. I'm just going to take a raw file. So I'm going to say File, and I'm going to say Plugin Extras, and I'm going to say Transfer to Luminar Flex. That's going to take this raw file and move it over there, and we'll have a lot of fun. So here we go. We're now in Luminar Flex. You can see it defaulted to the image-aware workspace, which is one of the new workspaces included. You can see them all listed here. I'm going to go ahead and clear that. I tend to prefer to build my own. I have some workspaces in Luminar 3. I may move them over to Luminar Flex. The cool thing is, all the looks or presets, I still call them presets, but they're officially called looks. I moved those over as well. So I've got my London Calling looks, right? I can click on this Bodiam Castle and boom, I've got that set up. Or, I might come over here and click on this Night on the Streets for a little bit different kind of look. But the point is, you can input or move your looks packs, preset pack, whatever they're called. You can move those over from Luminar 3 to to a Luminar Flex. I'm trying to learn to say Luminar Flex. It's not a, I don't have the muscle memory yet. Anyway, I've got my dramatic mood, which has been for sale in the Luminar marketplace for a while. Maybe I want to use this Twain look. I almost said preset again. But maybe I want to adjust it. So I can come in here and say, hey, a little bit more smart tone would be better to brighten that up. Maybe a little bit less contrast, something like that. Whatever. You know how Luminar works. If you don't, check out my videos. I've got a playlist here with 150 something videos. So there's a lot of things you can do. You still got the histogram, you still got layers, you've still got the information tab, right, which is right there. If you notice that drops, it shows me my exposure, my focal length, and my ISO. You don't have the info tab anymore because that's gone. Because that's part of the library module. You have all the info in your host application, which in this case would be Lightroom for me. You still have the tools, so you have erase, clone a stamp, free transform, and crop, so all that's there. You also have history, which you can see here, and you can just undo that sort of thing. Also have the before and after and the slider comparisons and that sort of thing. So you got a lot of the same options that you have in Luminar 3, but you don't have the library module and you don't have the info tab. The great thing about this, of course, is that if you didn't want to move over to Luminar 3, you don't have that component anymore in Luminar Flex because you don't need it if you're using a different host application. And also, my understanding is that in the next I had to check my notes here. The next update to Luminar 3, they're no longer going to offer that as a plugin. So I currently have Luminar 3 as a plugin in Lightroom. That'll go away. I'll just have Luminar Flex, which is fine by me. This will be the platform that gets the development going forward for the plugin workflow. So cool with me. That's really it. Again, selling for $59. You can get it at the link below. $49 with coupon code GEMNEXT. It gives you all the amazing capabilities of Luminar, which includes, all these different filters. There's 51 filters. You have layers. You have blend modes. You can add textures. You can do all sorts of things that you cannot do in Lightroom. So I personally think it is the best plugin ever made for Lightroom. I thought that prior to Luminar Flex coming out. So when Luminar 2018 was around, before the library module, I used it as a plugin to Lightroom all the time. I think it extends the power and the capability of that platform many-fold. I think it's amazing. Luminar is still my favorite app and will continue to be, I'm sure, forever because I love all the power and the capability in it. And now with it being designed, Luminar Flex that is, as a specific plugin for Lightroom or Photoshop or whatever, I think that's a beautiful step. I applaud the Skylum folks for listening to their users and saying, hey, I don't want the library, I just want the plugin and all the filter capabilities. And I would hate for people to not be able to take advantage of that if they wanted to stick with Lightroom as their library, for example. So Luminar Flex is the answer for you. I'm going to continue using it as a plugin. I'm also going to continue using Luminar 3 with libraries and have those two distinct and separate workflows. That's going to be fun to manage. But the point is, if you're a Lightroom user and wanted to stick with it, here's your answer. Enjoy it. Let me know if you have any questions. Hit me up down below and look forward to more videos. I'll probably be doing some Lightroom workflow with Luminar Flex videos as well as Luminar 3 videos going forward, as well as all the other stuff that I'm doing. So keep coming back. Keep watching. I appreciate it. Have a great day. Thanks for watching. Take care and adios.